What's up? Hey, hello, everyone. Wow. So today we are back, not going to be talking about Survivor again, but similar to last week, talking about the sequester mini of Survivor. Tonight, we are going to be talking about Peih-Gee Law's Twitch streams and whether you should watch Survivor players play Secret Hitler and other social strategy games on the internet. So my name is Rachel.
I'm Alyssa, and if you guys aren't aware what Secret Hitler is, basically it's a game of social strategy and deduction. You have to bluff, you have to lie, and there are two teams, the liberals and the fascists. They're both trying to win the game. They both have different objectives that they need to win the game. But basically, the whole premise is the liberals are trying to figure out who the other liberals are. The fascists already know who everyone else is, or who all the other fascists are, I should say. And then basically you win the game by reaching certain parameters which depend on your team. And so last night, Peih-Gee was playing in stream with some other former Survivor contestants.
Yeah, such as like Spencer was there, Stephen Fishback, 3 winners from Winners at War in Michelle, Adam, and Sophie were there. Albert from Sophie's season was there. Jen from oh my god, the season 30 was there. It's too like what?
Red
White collar, no
white
collar, blue collar.
collar.
Yeah, too long of a name to say, honestly, still. It's like HHH, just too much of a tongue twister. Peih-Gee was playing, and then the creator of Secret Hitler was there moderating and also playing. And then Peih-Gee also did one of these streams last week with people like Christian, Gabby from David vs. Goliath, and stuff like that. So a really stacked cast last night, I thought. So Alyssa and I tuned in. I have never seen any Secret Hitler games before, or I've never played any Secret Hitler games either. So it was really interesting, but I was honestly so lost throughout the whole thing that I kept having to text Alyssa, like, what's happening and what are the rules?
Yeah, so I've played games similar to Secret Hitler before. In college, my friends were really into this game called Avalon, which is like basically the same premise where there's a good team and an evil team, and you want the good people to win. Yay. And so I think one of the other things that made this difficult was like in Survivor, you generally have an idea of where people's heads are at because they give you private confessionals. You know, like, oh, this is this person's real alliance, this is this person's fake alliance. Like, you can generally figure out who people are loyal to. But in Secret Hitler, because it's all on a stream, like, no one can go and give you their like private thoughts. And like even when we watch Sequester, sometimes you could hear like private thoughts from people if they were alone in their own room. So yeah, I just thought that was kind of hard because as the observers of the game, we didn't know who anyone was. We didn't know what anyone was thinking. And so it made it hard because we were trying to figure out with the players who everyone was, but we didn't always have the same information that the players had.
Which I think that was sort of a cool thing. So it's like a mystery for us as viewers trying to figure out who's who, also simultaneously while the players in the game are trying to figure out who's who. But if you're trying to think like, oh, the strategy for this, what would I do if I were this player versus this other player? Like you can't really do because you don't really know who anyone is. And even when they drew the cards, they could lie about like, oh, it says they're a liberal, I guess. I don't, but then they could lie and say, oh, it says they're a fascist. And then they can lie about that, which I think it's interesting and it's fun when you like have other people to text about it with. So like Alyssa and I were texting. If you went on Twitch and you like participate in the chat on Twitch, then I think it's really cool. But I think if you're watching alone, it might be a little bit less fun because then you don't really have that interaction, which like the game requires.
Yeah, I think it's definitely one of those things where the fun of it comes from like interacting with other people. And I think also getting to see the Survivor players like quote unquote real personalities. Because some of them like didn't really get a good edit when they were on Survivor. And so like you don't really know who they are as a person. Like I feel like I learned more about Michelle in the like 2 hours that we watched Secret Hitler than I did in the entire season of Co Wrong. Because she just like Sorry, guys. I've been having this continual crisis, like, since Winners at War started, about, like, how much I disliked Michelle during Go Wrong and how I feel so bad about that now. So, yeah. Anyways,
Alyssa's a stan now.
I think it really depends on, like, why you wanted to watch Survivor in the first place. Like, that will depend on whether or not you enjoy PG streams, I feel like.
Yeah, and I really think like it was just cool to see these people interact outside of Survivor because even at the beginning Michelle like was introducing herself like, "Oh, hi Spencer, hi Albert. I've never met you before." And then Alyssa and I were like, "Oh, MG." Like we sort of just thought maybe these people were all interconnected. Obviously, three of the people just played on the season together. Like Sophie and Steven are close. Sophie went to Steven's wedding. So we just sort of figured everyone in the community who is in the community and not like they disappear after the show sort of knows each other, but it was really cool to see them interact for the first time. And it like I guess brings down the wall like, oh, these people are real people too, and they have feelings and they have friends and they play these games, and then you sort of get that cool inside perspective of what they do in their free time.
Yeah, and then I think also because it's a social strategy game, they were all leveraging their like relationships with each other during the game. Because it's like, oh, I know this person, I know how they behave. Because like if you spend 39 days on an island with someone, like Albert and Sophie were together for 39 days, and I'm sure there's other like groups of people who've spent time on islands together. I just don't know day numbers. But anyways, like since they know each other so well, both like within the game of Survivor, but then as like friends and people, like that's what makes social strategy games like Secret Hitler fun and interesting because you always have that like, would my friend lie to me thing? And the answer is
Mm-hmm.
always yes, your friend would lie to you to win Secret Hitler. So
Yeah, I think overall for me, they are definitely worth watching. You can go and find them on Twitch right now, but I think on Twitch stuff like deletes after a month or something. It's really, really weird. And I wish like streams on Twitch would stay up longer so you could go back and watch things. And it seems like a lot of people want to play Secret Hitler or other games with Peih-Gee there. So it seems like she's going to be doing a bunch of different streams, maybe not just once a week anymore, but it seems like a lot of people have shown interest to her. So honestly, with like quarantine still, you should watch.
yeah, and I think another thing that was cool that we should probably mention is that they were also raising money
Mm-hmm.
for like a charitable cause that they believed in. And like I think that's cool because I think it's really interesting when you're like a D-list celebrity like a Survivor winner is, where like the average person doesn't know you, but you still have some clout, like still using that little bit of clout you do have to like do some good in the world.
Yeah, I 100% agree. They raised so much money. Peachy at the beginning was saying that she thought they would only raise $500, but they ended up raising like almost $2,000 for, I believe, the Minnesota Freedom Fund for everything that's happening right now in the Black Lives Matter movement. So I thought that was really, really cool. And just like she kept seeming so surprised and so excited when everyone was donating. Like it was a really cool thing to see.
Yeah, and they also had fun like gifts that played in the Twitch chat when someone donated a certain amount. So yeah, all in all, we really enjoyed the experience of watching PG's live streams. If she when she does more, we'll probably watch them.
Yep,
So
and we didn't spoil this like we accidentally did sort of for the sequester one. So in this podcast here, we didn't say anything about who's a fascist, who's a liberal, anything. And also after they played Secret Hitler, they also played a game of Online Werewolf, which was also super really cool to see. And those are super short. It was only like 15, 20 minutes. So that one was a lot shorter than the like 2 hour long Secret Hitler game.
yeah, but neither of them were nearly as long as Sequester. So we were both really happy about that. But yeah, we'll be watching in the future. If you guys watch PG's live streams, what do you think of them? Like, what's your favorite part about it? Why did you decide to start watching? As always, we love to hear from you guys. We'd love to hear if you have any ideas for videos you want to see while we're in the hiatus. So, yeah, we'll see you guys soon with a new video. Bye.